and I guess what went wrong on that power play?
Yeah, a number of things, obviously. And at that point in the game, getting a power play, you can't let that happen. So it's as simple as that.
Take us through the game from your perspective. It feels like you guys got off to a good start, and then the second period, maybe they turned the tide. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen over the course of a game. I think we're happy with the way we started and the way the first period went. And then obviously they took it to us in the second. And then to score a goal coming out in the third period on the power play is a good feeling. Then, I mean, again, it just gets away from us on that power play. So that's on the individuals that were out there, myself and our unit.
Some about human nature there, just like you had the power play goal, you felt like the momentum's going in.
I don't think we took our foot off the gas or lost focus or anything like that. If anything, it's the opposite. You realize the opportunity that you have to go out and try to win a game or put yourself in a position to win a game. I don't think it's mindset. I mean, you could obviously make that argument considering the outcome of the power play, but from my perspective, it's just a couple mistakes, and good players will make you pay.
What's your sense of the adjustments here with the new guys and the 7-11 and everything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think whenever there's adjustments, you have to get used to it. But there's no reason why we can't do that. Whether it's the forwards or the D, everybody's capable of making adjustments within their game.
How did you see that second period penalty? It looked like you were in disagreement.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't holding him, and it was a holding penalty, so I didn't agree with it because of that.
I know the result doesn't go your way, but how encouraging it is to see Matt come back and play the way he did.
He played great, outstanding. Obviously, he's worked hard to get back, and he really kept us in the game for a portion of it. So great to see him come out and play well.
This has been kind of an interesting trip, right? With all the different additions, everything. The way you guys play in the third period in Calgary, the way you guys play in the third period tonight. How do you see this team kind of? Where are you guys at? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're sure yet. We're trying to figure that out. Obviously, if you look at the game, our first game of the trip, even the game at home against Minnesota, then you go to Seattle, you win a good game in Seattle, then you go to Edmonton, and it's a poor effort all the way through. Then you go to Calgary, it's great, and then tonight is not so great. So the ups and the downs aren't a good thing. We want to be more consistent than that. So in terms of how I view it, or in terms of where we're at, obviously we have to even it out and be more consistent. We don't want to be a team that's great one night and then not good the next. So we have to find a way to be more consistent and execute more consistently.
Morgan, is it a relief that that the trade deadline is now in the rearview mirror and you guys sort of know that the group that you have?
Yeah, to an extent. And, that's always a thing that happens, this time of the season. So I think it's a great opportunity for teams to kind of gear up for a playoff run. I know that we certainly did, and we feel confident with the people that we have. So in that sense, moving forward, I think we feel good. Is it relief? I don't know. It's more excitement, honestly.
How did you feel tonight?
Yeah, I felt pretty good. It was just nice to be back out there. I think, I think the game comes down to that first shorthanded goal. I think if I make a save there, I think it's a totally different game. So, I think that's one that I got to have. But felt pretty good all in all.
Those are two pretty good players coming down on you. What could you have done differently? Do you feel like?
I don't know. You just got to find a way to make saves in times like that. But yeah, those are good players with time and space. But that's just a big point in the game, and just one that you got to find a way to come up with.
What did you see on that 2-0 where you came up with the big save? Were you feeling like he was going to pass it there?
Yeah, just trying to get a read. I mean, he put a pretty hard shot fake, so kind of froze me a little bit. So I wasn't able to get really anything over there other than my toe. So I got fortunate that that hit me there.
How challenging is it? A while without playing, then you come in and there's just not a lot of shots early on to try and kind of stay engaged and focus. Yeah,
I think I can't control really how many shots I see or the pace of the game or anything like that. So it can be tough at times, but you just gotta you gotta roll with it, find a way to stay sharp. And that's a team there. They didn't have much in the first, and then in the second they had some pretty good looks. So again, I thought really we carried the play most of the night, and the game really comes down to that first shorty there.
What can the team as a whole take away from a game like tonight?
Well, like I said, I thought we carried the play pretty well. We had a ton of shots, ton of possession time, and thought, again, that game could have gone either way. So I think there's a lot of good stuff to build off of.
On what went wrong in that power play in the third?
Obviously just execution and then being aware of them trying to counter, being aggressive as they were. So obviously that's on us. I mean, we liked a lot of things about our first. Just talked about trying to get a little bit more inside, and they obviously generated some momentum in the second. We didn't get quite as many looks that we wanted to. 2 power play goals, and it just comes down to a bad power play. So, like I said, that's on us, and just created some good looks, some good opportunities, obviously some good puck possession, but just have to make it harder around their nets, and not letting the goalie see as many pucks, I think, as we did. And then, like I said, came down to that power play where we have to do a better job.
Were you in pain or dazed at all by the Myers hit, the big one at the beginning there?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. And then what did you think about McCabe and how quickly he stood up for you there?
Well, I went and thanked him after. Obviously, anytime someone comes in and steps up for you, obviously means a lot. So, especially a new guy that's just getting acclimated. So, not an easy thing to do. So, definitely much appreciated.
John, where's this team in terms of finding consistency, you think, right now?
Yeah, it's been a little up and down for us at times. We've put some really good stretches together over the last few weeks, but obviously we want to keep building momentum here, and especially off of good efforts, good results. So something we have to be better at.
10 forwards, and then Ryan gets hurt. 11 forwards. Ryan leaves the game. Just what was that like at the end of 3 and 4?
Yeah, I mean it's part of it. That's the nature of the schedule, and sometimes when injuries happen, so. You have to adapt and do what's necessary to obviously give yourself a chance. And I think we have the depth to manage that, handle it when it comes our way. So on us to do a better job.
Power play in the third.
I mean, I think just not on the same page. A couple bad decisions, and obviously they got good players there on the PK, and they read the play pretty well, and that was that put us in a pretty big hole. So.
What was it like for you playing after you came back from the shot block?
Not great. I mean, just try to grind my way through it. Didn't feel too great, but felt fine to play. So.
Just a bruise, like just a stinger, or how serious?
Yeah, it just caught me in a weird spot and just stung. So it still stings, but I was able to just get it to calm down, and like I said, just was able to get out there, grind it out, and. Had some good chances. Obviously, I think just that one power play that they scored the 2 goals, really just, we dug ourselves in that hole, and it was tough to climb out of it at that point.
What do you think of Matt in his return?
I mean, I thought he was solid. He made some big saves for us. I think, probably a little bit too much, free access to the net and breakaways and some odd man rushes. But, he came up with some huge stops. So, that's all you can ask for from him.
Bit of an up and down trip. Where's your assessment of kind of where this team is right now after all the changes and just how the trip's gone?
I think just still trying to find our way, and sometimes that takes time, especially when you have so many new guys. But obviously, we need to kind of dial it in a little bit here and get our game back and find that consistency.
11 forwards in the lineup, and then Ryan leaves. Just what sort of adjustment or challenge does that present at the end of 3 and 4?
Honestly, it's not too bad. I think, especially when it gets down to the last kind of half of the game and third period when we're trying to obviously score goals and come back in the game. So it's kind of easier to stay in a rhythm like that when you're kind of rolling like 3 lines almost. So, but it can be tough too, and obviously Factor is a big part of what we got going on here, and he brings a really special element for us. So, that was a big loss for us, and obviously, down to 10 forwards, but I thought guys stepped in spots that they usually wouldn't be playing in and did a good job.
There's a lot of concern, obviously, when you initially had the shot block. Was there some relief when you were able to come back on your end?
Yeah, of course. You never know. I felt like I was in a lot of pain there for quite a little bit of time, and like I said, it was just let it kind of calm down a little bit and was able to get back out there.
Sheldon, what's your perspective on how the power play sequence there in the third?
Well, poor execution, and then you got elite forwards on the other side that capitalized.
How tempted were you to make a switch on the power play units after the first shorthanded goal went in?
to make a switch on the
put out the other unit.
I mean, we're 15 seconds into a power play in a one-goal hockey game, and we got a power play that just tied the game for us, so I wasn't tempted at all.
How do you assess the game as a whole? It seemed like the way the third start, you were in a good position. Like, how did you see this one?
Yeah, you're torn, right? Because you come out in the third period in the power play, scores you a huge goal and gets you going in the game, and then obviously lets you down the next time out. So it's you're torn on that one because you do want to see your power play come through in those moments, and it did in the first one. And then we have a chance to really take hold of the game, and we failed to execute on that. So that in that case, their best players were better than ours there. But like I said, you're torn on it because they did score us a big goal.
What's the status of Ryan? How serious is his injury?
Well, obviously he's unable to return, so serious enough that was the case. But in terms of a timeline for him, we'll have an update for you. I guess Monday we'll be back at it and have something for you then.
What was your thinking on putting the goalie back in after the initial pull?
Well, we're short a lot of forwards, a lot of bodies, and our guys that were on the ice were at the end of their tank. I mean, they didn't have much gas left. John had already changed, so I would go with a 5-on-5 shift after that. So it was really just a matter of managing the energy of the bench.
Why the Kerfoot Bunting flip to start the game at least?
Well, I'd say Kerf's been playing better than Bunce. That's really it. And I thought Kerf was outstanding, maybe his best game of the season the other night. So trying to change that up a little bit, and just trying to change that group a little bit there and try to get a little bit more from them.
How would you assess Morgan Rielly's play lately?
I think I liked his game the other night. He hasn't scored the game-winning goal, but it's his initiative to jump in the rush the way that he did in Calgary that is the difference. That ends up helping us win that game, and I thought he had some good moments there. I think he's got more, and he's got more to give, and can play better, like a lot of our guys can. But this is a similar game that we've played in these type of scenarios with teams that are out of the playoffs here, that aren't in the mix, that we dominate a first period and you don't score on your chances, and you let the team hang around and you give them life, you give them energy, you give them hope. So our inability to capitalize and score, I think we missed a breakaway, smashed one off the post. I think when it was at 1-1 in the third period, we hit the crossbar. Like little things like that, and the game is so tight, our inability to execute and score in those moments lets the team hang around and lets the game, go the way that it did.
How about Matt Murray's performance tonight?
Well, Matt's numbers aren't going to look good coming out of this one, but I thought he was excellent. There weren't very many easy shots that he faced tonight. The first period, there's nothing there for him, which maybe allowed him to ease into the game. But certainly in the second and third, any of the looks that he had to face were high-end chances, and I thought he looked really solid.
Down to 10 forwards there, playing at the end of 3 and 4. Like, what's the challenge for you, and then also the group in front of you down the stretch in this game?
Yeah, it was a challenge for sure with the energy there, especially when you lost Auston at the start of the second period, and even when he came back, he's not at 100% in terms of his skating and stuff. So you're shorthanded there for sure, and it becomes even harder to manage. We were close to bringing a defenseman back up front, but certainly not ideal when you're 11-7 that you end up losing 2 forwards at 2 different times. But again, at the same time, it's strange how it works because we didn't have McCabe for the first period, so having the six other D helped in that case. So, I guess there's give and take with everything.